Ooh. Yes, Hickok 45, your internet shooting companion, coming to you from the beautiful green warm hills of Tennessee. Yes, Tennessee. You can spell it, right? The home of Jeff Quinn. We miss Jeff Quinn, right? As well as a lot of other people. And we don't miss you because you're here today. You're kind of in Tennessee, aren't you? Yeah, I guess, aren't you? Well, you're tuning in to me in Tennessee, so you're kind of in Tennessee, and I'm glad you're here. Got an interesting firearm here that I'm going to share a little bit, shoot some more, and then I got another sort of a classic I brought out too. I haven't fired in a long time, but yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm going to tell you what it is and give you enough information about it. Maybe you'll catch the video when we do a video with it soon. Yeah, man. And this came from, speaking of people that help us, Gallery Guns, Davidson's Gallery Guns, on loan. Yeah, get a guaranteed lifetime replacement on firearms purchase there. So keep them in mind. The good people at Gallery of Guns. And then Silencer Central, that wonderful Banish lineup they make. We're shooting one, well, on this earlier today. And might in the future very soon. Yeah, man. Oh, by the way, they're up through the end of the year, they're paying the $200 stamp fee on most suppressors. So check that out. There's information at their website. So through the end of this year. What year is it? 2025. Yeah, on most of their suppressors. What else? Well, we also appreciate the SONORAN Desert Institute. Get yourself some learning about all kinds of things. Online, distance learning school, drone technology, firearms technology. You might even decide you want to become a gunsmith. Get started on that. So check them out. This is, maybe you can read. Maybe it's, is it where you can read it? Well, not too easily from the camera, but it is the Hammerli Arms Force B. Okay, Hammerli Arms Force B. They're kind of well known in the competition circles. And this I've requested from Gallery of Guns. Interesting firearm, and I like it more and more the more I mess with it. You know, it's kind of priced in the neighborhood of a 1022, and it's got a couple of characteristics like the 1022, but it's not a 1022 Ruger at all. It does take the 10 round magazines, Ruger 1022, but you know, at first glance it might kind of even resemble one, but it's a straight pull back. You ever seen one of these or used one? And I thought, well, this is interesting. I probably won't like it. I might reload that mag while I'm talking about it. I probably won't like it. You know, I don't know that much, but you know, the more I learn about it and mess with it, the more I do like it. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of a bolt gun, but it's got that really handy bolt handle, and it's not semi-automatic, which there are advantages to semi-automatic, and there are some disadvantages to semi-automatic, right? Especially with 22, as we all know. But it's an interesting firearm. It really is. They've got a great reputation. I put my scope on it. I've got a kind of a dual scope there at Leupold that I pop onto, you know, firearms now and then that were maybe my own firearms or firearms we borrow that need sights. You know, sometimes put a prism scope on them, red dot, or this. Just depends on what it is. I was in the mood to put a real scope on this one, and so I did, instead of just the red dot, or let's see, now this is a Leupold VX 3i 3x5 3.5 to 10 by 40 millimeter. Okay, I've had that for a few years, and kind of a dual flexible kind of scope on that. They're pretty nice one. So anyway, this is interesting. You know, you just to load, you just pull back, straight forward. You know, and you know, it's threaded and adjustable stock. Push a little button back here and push the button, and it'll come out further or go in. You know, I put the scope on before I kind of figured out how to adjust the stock. Ouch. And so I put the scope on with it fully forward, and if I were going to do it over, I'd have that scope rearward just a little bit, but it's okay for now. It's just a borrowed firearm. The barrel comes out. It's kind of an interesting coupling device, kind of like gas hoses and things, and you pull back on, you pull the bolt back, and you pull back on this collar, and then pull the barrel out. It goes right out. So interesting. It doesn't screw in or out, and there's only one way to get it in correctly, little grooves in it, but it's just an interesting little gun. I shot it suppressed, and one advantage is the fact that it is a bolt gun, and so, you know, it closes up tight, and it's probably quieter than semi-automatic, and with this, you know, similar suppressor. And then also, more importantly, you can fire any ammo in it you want to, as long as it gets out the barrel, right? So you're not relying on the power of the ammo to work it and all that sort of stuff. It's just an interesting little gun. I even like the way the mags go in it. I struggle with a 1022 sometimes. You put the mag in, you push forward right here, and the mag just goes, you know, right in. And same with coming out, and you don't have to hold your nose right, you know, to get the mag out like I do on a 1022. It's pretty neat. Can I shoot it again? All right, since I put more ammo in it. Also want to thank Alabama Holster. Their support of the channel. Great little Kydex concealment holsters. Wonderful holsters. You need them. I know I do. So I've got it loaded, but let's put one in the chamber and miss that. Yeah. Put my ears in. 22 is not too loud, but I'll let my ears in. Okay. Let's shoot Clyde again. Yeah. Did I hit the gong? I think I did. Oh, didn't get the bolt. Was it empty? Click. Yeah, I didn't get it. Yeah, it's empty. You know, you can shoot it fast enough. I like this as a, yeah, I may even buy one of these. I like this as a youngster's gun, I was going to say, or someone starting to learn to shoot and that sort of thing. I was fortunate, I guess, as a kid. I had a Model 60 Marlin, basically, it was the Revelation, and semi-automatic, you know, and loved to shoot fast and go through a lot of ammo. But, you know, really teaching somebody to shoot, a youngster, and teaching them to appreciate every shot, you know, and not just boom, boom, boom kind of thing. The bolt, it requires just enough time, you know, you can fire it and pull back and fire it again, fire. Yeah, it kind of slows them down a little bit, makes it a more deliberate experience. I like that idea. As an adult, I like it too. Even though I have a machine gun, full auto firearm, and get to fire them here and there, I just appreciate a fine firearm. It doesn't have to shoot fast, you know, but kind of got most of that out of my system, even though it's still fun occasionally. But I just like this as a compromise. I like it more and more. So, yeah, made in Germany. Pretty cool. I don't think as I speak they have barrels for the Winchester or the WMR yet in 22. When they do, you can just pop that barrel out and pop another one in, or if you want a different length barrel and all that sort of thing, without changing anything else, even the bolts. But interesting firearm, I must say. I'll tell you the one thing I am so weird. I am not I like a 1022 Ruger, But I don't know, there's just, I actually prefer the Marlin Model 60. I prefer a good pump. What's the one I got John when he was born? A 572 Remington pump. That is a great 22. Trying to think of 22 rifles. There's some bolt guns I love. And I enjoy semi-automatic, you know, as well, but I just cannot fall in love with the 1022 like most people do. Partly because it's so small, really, it's like a toy to me almost, my size, but also just the mags. And it is great, I guess. It takes a Ruger 10 round mag. You got to put this little, that comes with one. It's got this little thing you clip onto it. It needs that extension, which doesn't appear you can do on any of the longer, you know, magazines, just the 10 round mags. And so I did that on a couple of my own. It comes with 2 extras, and I popped them onto my mags. I color code. I am so brilliant. I color coded my magazines with the silver Sharpie. This is the one that comes with it. Anything I'm sending back, I like kind of keep the stuff straight and everything. Not that there's any difference, but I don't know. Loading these Ruger mags is a pain in the butt. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm looking for things to be negative about, I guess, but it's awkward to load. I don't know what rifle has magazines like a M22 long rifle that are easier to load necessarily. Does one come to your mind? I don't really have a semi-automatic 22 rifle, do I? I have to think before I say these things. I'm blessed with so many firearms, but because I do have a couple of 1022s. One my dad got me back in the 80s, and then one I bought, a takedown model. See, I have to struggle to get these in there. So I don't have a lot of experience with other rifles in 22 that take up like a box magazine. Some of the handgun 22s aren't too bad, like the gun I had last week, the Mark IV. Those mags are quick to load. Most of the handgun magazines in 22 long rifle are pretty easy to load, you know. But I don't know, I just don't like the 1022 mags. Plus, I've had difficulties with them, with all brands of them being reliable in my 1022s. So, what else can I gripe about? I like this thing. Let me shoot it again. This is, yeah, where's the one mag? This one I think is fully loaded. Let's shoot that thing again. All right. So you just push forward on that, and it just goes right up in there, no problem. All right. Let's put the ears on. Yeah, I heard it. I heard it. Come on now. Oh, I got a case in there. About that plate. All right. Make sure the round gets dumped out. Oh, buffalo. How about you, cowboy? You need a round. Boom. Yeah. Interesting design, I have to say. Yep, I heard that gong, so I got a couple more there. I'll leave that bolt down on empty. How's that? So, yeah, I like that. Pretty neat. Oh, before I forget, again, I'll hope to see you at Mammoth Outdoors in Bowling Green on the 6th of September, coming right up, okay? 11 to 12:30, September 6th, Mammoth Outdoors, Bowling Green, right there at exit 22, across the road from Culver's. Easy to find, Mammoth Outdoors. So come by and see me, and yeah, come by and learn how dumb I really am. So that'd be cool. Davidson's will be there, great. What else? Well, I did bring another firearm out. And this one is a little bit historical. Yeah, Colt single action. No, it doesn't go back into the 1800s. It does go back to 1964. I have a pair of these things made in 1964. Yep, 45 Colt caliber chambering. So that still seems like not that long ago to me, but you know, it's been a while. Yeah, really, 64. That's been some time, and I've had it. Let's see, when did I get it? 2000 or 2001. I think it was 2000. And this is the Colt Single Action Army that you see in the very first posting on the Hickok 45 channel. Okay, if you dig way back to the very first video, the earliest video, you'll see me shooting a buffalo with this revolver. Yep, it's before YouTube even existed. Actually, I pulled out I wasn't making that for YouTube. I was just doing it like I did some of the early stuff. Probably, even though you know it's dated when we uploaded it, and it's the first video, 2007 or whatever, for YouTube. Probably did that in I don't know, 2004 or something, or 2. I don't know. Well, it had to be somewhere after I bought this, but between 2000 and 2005 or 6 probably. So I just pulled it out. Had a Canon ELPH camera I used to carry around my pocket before phones had good cameras, and I would just do things like that, film it, you know, and that's where that came from. Is this exact firearm. So I knew you were wondering about that, and I realized I've not fired this in a long time. So I'm going to put some bullets in it. Got some Steinel, some Underwood here, and just fire it. Give me an excuse to clean it. Big old 45 Colt rounds. Seen them before, right? It's like lipstick. This is Steinel. These are like 250 grain rounds, I think. Let's see. 250 grain, yep. That's heavy lead, isn't it? 250 grains. Think about your average 22 long rifle. What's what, maybe 40 grains or something. All right. Okay, old friend, I haven't fired you for a while. Let's just launch a couple of bullets. Am I recording? Yeah, that's good. I'd hate to say something brilliant and not catch it on tape or on hard drive or whatever we do, on SD drive, whatever. Cowboy needs a bullet. Yeah, pretty appropriate, huh? Pretty appropriate. Oh, I missed. How did I do that? I missed that time. Boom. I think I hit the stake. Well, that's right. This one prints a little high, but not too bad. I almost forgot. Okay. 45 Colt. Always a good day. Not only is it always a good day when you can shoot your AK, it's a good day when you can fire one of these things. No doubt about that. In fact, I'm going to load it right back up. Yeah, I'm glad y'all came out on this Sunday morning, or whenever you're watching this. Yeah, man. So, yeah, don't forget. Hope to see you in Bowling Green in a couple of weeks. And hope to see you every Sunday morning, as well as every Tuesday around noon and Friday around noon, kind of when we make them live, right, videos. Let's shoot, let's try one of these on Clyde over there. All right. How about Cowboy again? How about that hog? Nice. Yeah, nice little 3-shot group there with this old obsolete firearm, right? Obsolete. What does that mean? It does what I want it to do. It does what it always did since 1873, right? It does exactly the same thing. It always has done. And this one since 1964. Yeah, man. Pretty nice. It's got some wear. You know, some of the finish is not there. The color case hardening is pretty well faded. You can see it, but you know, the bluing is kind of faded. Been carried, been fired, in good mechanical condition. It has been one of my favorites over the years. It's just one I plink around with a lot, especially early on when I just had a couple or three of them. Not terrible, just a couple or three. But I would hike around the place and use this one, plink with it, and enjoyed it, and that's why I happened to have it that day. I reached into my pocket and pulled out my little Canon ELPH camera and filmed I think I was shooting black powder that day. I pulled it out and boom. Yeah, nothing like a 45. Yeah, hard to beat. Yep, lucky guy, I get to shoot a lot of 45. So, anyway, any idiocy I need to share with you? I heard somebody out of South Carolina. Who was it? A politician or somebody running for office? I don't remember. Now I don't remember who it was, but I made a note that he said the people of South Carolina deserve the truth. Oh, it's someone who's running for governor. I don't even remember what party, but he said the people of South Carolina deserve the truth. And you know, I'm reminded, truth. What a word! What a word! The truth. Yeah. Everybody has their version of the truth, whether it's about politics, economics, religion, diet, you name it. Everybody has the truth, right? Yeah, got to watch that sometimes. People that have the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. You need to hear the truth on this matter, and I happen to know the truth. You probably don't, but I do, so I'm going to let you in on the truth. But that's an interesting word, truth. Yep. So, can I shoot this again? Yeah, I got a couple of rounds in this. This is the stock mag. I stuck a couple in there. Okay. Oop, take the other one out. Oh, no, it had a few rounds left. That's right. I had it empty under the chamber. That's something you can't do with a semi-automatic, right? You like I do with a lever gun or others, a revolver. When you fire it, just don't do anything else, and then it's pretty safe, right? Unless you cock it again or bring another live round under the hammer. So right now, as you know and you remember, because we're live, no editing, there's an empty under the chamber or under the firing pin. So let's get it out. And there it went. And let's shoot this. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, this is a firearm I think most shooters would enjoy. I don't know. Anybody have one of these or one like it? Good for bowling. Click. I like it. I really do. I would enjoy shooting this, going out for a shooting session, more so, I think, than a Ruger 1022. Is that a sacrilegious thing to say? Is that the truth? That's my truth, right? All right. Cowboy, you need one. Gong, you need one. Yeah, I think I heard it. Yeah, I heard it. I heard it. It would be nice if maybe they do or somebody does make like a, I don't know, a 20 round mag or something that you can still get that little end piece on there to make it fit right. And, but that's a cool little booger, lightweight. There's no sight on it. No sights come with it, but so I had to stick something on there. This comb. Let's see. I think I read as usual, I bring these out on a Sunday before we mess with them too much or done a video. I sort of know enough to be dangerous. I haven't studied as much as I will before we do a video. I believe I read that this comb piece can be extended by just pulling it out and turning it around, turning it upside down or something, if I recall. But so you got adjustments back there. Interesting pistol grip, isn't it? Yeah. I've seen other, let's see, what is it? Oh, I know what it is. It's the, is it Langley Outdoors? Langdon, the one who does the stocks and some of the custom add-ons for the Beretta 1301, another gun, that's what it is. They make a stock for the Beretta 1301 that it's kind of like that in the pistol grip, as I recall, unless I dreamed it. But it always looks like, man, that's weird. That wouldn't feel good. Feels pretty good though. Yeah. All right. Not bad. Not bad. I'm gonna shoot this 45 that I've neglected so much. When did I fire this thing last? I don't even recall having it out in some video where we had a bunch of Colts out and fired some of them. It's just not been out. It's not escaped from the safe lately. Yeah, maybe for years. Maybe for years. Yeah, I shot this in cowboy action shooting, so I sure did. Just good gun, good gun. What else do you want to know about? Do I have anything for young people? Oh, I've got something for young people. Yeah, make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. You're keeping up with the issues that matter to you. Yeah, I'm not here to tell you how to vote or to tell you what issues should matter to you, but just study and keep up with what's going on as best you can, and get out there and vote, and try not to worry about how the country is so divided, quote unquote. It's going to be divided. You know, social media and everything has given us that, and certain politicians, gain a lot by dividing everybody and that sort of thing, pitting us against each other or whatever. But just keep in mind that people need controversy in their lives. A lot of people do, and they don't have a lot going on. And so that controversy and feeling like they're smarter than everybody else and that they have the truth, it gives them a reason to exist and to feel good about themselves and to virtue signal and all that sort of thing. Just again, assume whenever you say anything, people are going to disagree, especially online. If you're doing anything online, anything at all, you're going to have, people come after you that disagree with you. That's just part of it. Don't worry about it, and just relax. Get outside, get outdoors, shoot a 45. Yeah, okay. Try to keep your sanity. That's a challenge these days, isn't it? It's not a big challenge for me. You already know why, don't you? Yeah. Really, it's not. Keeping my sanity is simple, because I don't have any sanity, right? All right, let's load this thing up with these pretty bullets. All right. Oop. All right, 45. These are not like magnums, but just the sheer weight, 250 grains. Boy, you can tell it's loaded. Or have y'all shot enough, handled firearms enough that you can tell when a firearm is loaded or not? You should, if it's a firearm you handle a lot. Like this firearm, you could hand this to me and I could tell it's loaded just from the weight. I mean, they could be blanks, but I can tell there's a lot of lead in there, in addition to the metal in this firearm. All right, let's put another one on that target. 1, 2. Yeah, man, accurate, heavy lead goes right through that paper. Impressive, huh? Right through the paper. There's a jug that needs to be shot. Oh, he's leaking. I wounded him. Yeah, got him high on that first shot. Now, this is one Clyde shouldn't mind too much because they're not too fast. Yeah, he's got time to duck and weave if he wants to. All right, dead center. Click. Pretty nice. You owe it to yourself if you don't have a 45 or something that shoots big lead. Big lead. Could be 44 Special, 44 Magnum, 45 ACP, 45 Colt, whatever. It just throws out a big chunk of lead, and you know, if it's not a Magnum round, it doesn't really hurt you. It's fun to shoot. It's always fun to throw big rocks, right? It's just always fun. Oh man. It's like there was something else I need to remind you of. But I guess not. Yeah, you probably already know everything. Anything of any importance, right? So we're in, man, we're getting to 24th. We're coming to the end of summer. I might cry. Yeah. Yeah, it's hot and it's humid around here, but I don't know. I don't mind it too much. This is one of my favorite. Now, fall, autumn is my favorite season of the year by far. But there's something about moving into August like this when, well, I would say it rains less, but I don't know. This year it's rained a lot. But things tend to start dying and drying up, generally speaking. And I don't know, I just like that. That's why I like the West, I think. It's a little bit drier. The air is a little drier, you know, usually. You get into September, and pretty nice time. I enjoy it. I do. The grass slows down. It's interesting how nature knows. I mean, we could have the same amount of rain. Have you ever noticed that? We could have the same amount of rain in August and September and have the same temperatures that we have in June, July, whatever. Same temperatures, same amount of rain and everything. But the plants just somehow know that the seasons are coming to an end, and grass and everything, bushes, weeds out in the woods, they slow down in their growth. They really do. Leaves, some trees especially, start dying, the leaves dying and start to fall, turning yellow, tulip poplars especially, and it just is almost irrelevant as to what the temperature has been or the rainfall. They just know. It's the pattern, it's the timing of the seasons. They know. Certain bugs, insects you see more of, you hear the cicadas a little bit more. Now, some years like this year, you have a lot of, you know, it's a bad year for cicadas. Good year for them, I guess, but the noise, it's a bad year this year, at least a couple of months ago. But every year, regardless of whether you're in one of those 7 or 14-year cycles with cicadas, it doesn't matter. You get into August and you start hearing them. Seems like, again, doesn't matter what the weather is. Nature has its own plan and pattern and schedule, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, there I go again, proving to you I'm a botanist. Okay, let's shoot this rifle. I've got another magazine loaded. So if you got one of these, tell me what you think about it. Or if you ever fired one, I don't know. Am I losing my mind that I like this? It's so kind of different, but I like it. You know, I have a straight pull bolt. What is it? Quick. Some of y'all been around a while should know, remember the videos on it. And even if you haven't been around a while, you might be familiar with it, and you might be saying it right now into your screen. The K31, right? The Swiss rifle has that straight pull bolt. So this is different from that, but you know, it's a similar concept, I guess. So yeah, it is interesting. Yep, I think I like that. Would I like that in a bigger chambering? I don't know. If it's too big a chambering, too much power, it'd be a different animal. That might be kind of cool in a, could you do that in like a 9mm or a 10mm or something? That might be cool. Again, a bolt, and if you got the knack for that, you know, bang, bang, you see, you could probably do it without getting your finger off the trigger. You might do your middle finger. I mean, you get a little, not that you're trying to make it a semi-automatic, just buy a semi-automatic. But it's pretty neat. Probably in the long run, more reliable, more dependable. And then again, I like the fact that it's going to be more efficient to suppress. Yeah, they're not all that expensive. I might have to get one. It's not like it's now Hammerli, when I think of Hammerli, aren't they most famous for competition handguns and high dollar stuff, pretty much? I don't know. But I like that. That's my problem though, isn't it? I like a lot of firearms. I guess I like having a lot of firearms, and there are a lot of firearms I end up liking a little too much. Oh, I was going to shoot it. Okay. So we'll do that. Oh yeah, it's always a good day. The sun is shining, it's not raining, and the weather's pretty good, and you get to shoot something. Yeah. All right. Clyde, you need another bullet. I can tell by the look on your face. Did I hit it? Yeah, I heard it that time. I need another 2-liter hit. Bam! Last round. Yeah, that is not bad. Not bad. I mean, in some ways it seems like, okay, cheap stock, but just because it's polymer doesn't make it cheap. It seems like it works. Sliding there. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll do a video on that. Kind of got it figured out. Know what I know. Did I? Yeah, I told you it's the Hammerli Arms Force B, right? Force B. Yeah. Make sure I'm not misspeaking and saying something dumb. Yeah, the Force B1. Yeah, Force B1. Okay. 22. Force B1. That's interesting. Yeah, if you got one of these or you've had one that's similar, let me know what you think about it, and you know, how's it worked for you, and that barrel swap out and all that kind of thing. I took the barrel out. I read about that, how to do it. You pull the bolt back, and of course the social media gods would not approve if I did that. But you just pull that back and pop the barrel out and switch it out. Or if you're, traveling and you want a smaller case, right, you could take the barrel out and you'd lose that length right there in terms of a package to put it up. Pretty cool. All right. It appeals to me maybe more than it would to some of you if you love the Ruger 1022. Yeah, it may not be as interesting to you, but I'm, again, one of those people, I'm not madly in love with the Ruger 1022. It's kind of odd. Oh, look at that. That's a pretty bullet. 45 Colt semi-wad cutter. Underwood. What are those weigh? 255 grains. Yeah, gas check. And that's trucking enough to, be effective on a lot of game. There's some great ammo out there now, isn't there? From all sorts of companies and all calibers. So we're living in good times. As long as you can find it and you can get it, you're not necessarily going to find everything in your local gun shop, are you? And that's one of the reasons I get questions so often about, where do you find that? Where do you find guns like that? Or ammo or something else. I can't find that around me. I never see those guns around me, or that ammo and that kind of thing. Well, I like to shop in local gun shops. Any gun shop around Middle Tennessee will tell you that, because I'm popping into most of them from time to time. And I try to buy something if there's something I kind of need, and you know, maybe just a box of special ammo, or a holster, a gun rag, or just something if there's anything I need. Maybe a gun, right? That happens a lot, right? But then again, I look online for things as well, and that's the point I was getting to, that you're not necessarily going to find exotic guns, firearms, or ammo at your neighborhood gun shop. You know, we all know, if you go into many gun shops, there's a wide range of shops out there, right? There's some great gun shops. They got a nice range with it, and maybe every modern gun you can imagine is available there, and they'll order one for you, and all that kind of thing. A lot of great gun shops. The gun shops that I really like don't exist as much anymore. Where when you go in, they got modern guns, but they also have, well, they might have one of these, you know, or some old A3 Springfield, a couple of Garands somebody traded or they bought. And I love shops like that that have a variety of firearms. Partly just because I've been around so long with firearms, and I you know, just my interests are pretty wide. I don't need to tell you, right? But now if you're new to guns, you're just looking for an AR or a Glock or a SIG or whatever it might be, you know, at any decent gun shop, you know, have those, right? But as your interests expand and you get more interested in historical firearms or whatever, you learn more about some of those. Like maybe you have a K31 I mentioned earlier, or you have never heard of a K31. You have no clue what I'm talking about, for example. So you're in a different place, you know, or an A3, you don't even know what an A3 Springfield is, or maybe an M1 Garand. You know, so those kinds of shops and firearms are not, you know, high on your radar. Don't want them high on your radar, you know. But there'll come a time where you might, and so I really appreciate big gun shows for that reason, like the Wanamaker show, of course, in Tulsa. Big regional shows where you'll run into a lot of interesting firearms. Now, maybe not to buy, you know, but just interesting to see them, right? And so what I was getting at, yeah, don't be surprised if you don't see some firearm that I bring out, whether it's an A3 Springfield or Garand. You know, well, I never see those around me. Where do you find those? Well, no kidding. I don't either, for the most part. Although we had a gun shop in Franklin, Tennessee, that you would likely run into something like that. They had everything. They're out of business now. But they were like going to a gun show, big gun show. Yeah. You never knew what I mean, they had a lot of variety, but that was really unusual. Definitely not the rule. You need to go online or auctions, and almost anything is available online. I mean, it'll show up. You may not be at a price you like or want to pay, but it's out there, obviously. I don't have to tell you that. You know about eBay and gun brokers, don't you? You know, somebody on planet Earth in the United States has some gun you're looking at, and they probably got it on Gun Broker. Or you got some vase you would be interested in, they got it on eBay, you know, whatever it might be. or you get to, like I say, a big regional gun show, and you see that stuff. Yeah, you'll see it. It's not like unicorns, like it doesn't exist just because you don't see it at your corner gun shop. You know, you might live in a small town, there's really only one decent gun shop, and they focus mainly on modern firearms. Well, no kidding, you're not going to see any of that stuff in your neighborhood, probably. Yeah. So, and I mean, in their defense, it doesn't move fast enough. Not enough money to be made on it. There's all kinds of reasons. They don't even know maybe about a lot of those guns themselves, and there's not as much interest in, I don't know, an M1 carbine, or again, an A3 Springfield or whatever in that town, and maybe there's not a lot of money in the town. You live in a small town somewhere, and some of those guns can get kind of expensive, even on the low end, right? M1 Garand or M1 carbine or whatever, you're talking a bottom line of $1,000 and more on up for some of those firearms. So your average gun shop is not going to stock a lot of those, but it's not that they're not out there. Boy, go to the Tulsa Gun Show. It happens twice a year, the Wanamaker show, and walk around there for a day, particularly if you enjoy the historical firearms or just older firearms. They don't have to be antiques, but just almost anything. And you'll see that there's a lot of all that stuff. You know, it may not be cheap, it's not, but it's out there. It's out there. So yeah, took me a long time to answer that question, didn't it? So good old Colt single action, doesn't get a lot better. There's so much romance associated with these firearms that came along in 1873. And even before that, really, it was essentially even the 1851 percussion, you know, the Navy Colt, you know, a different way to load it and fire, of course, but as far as the mechanism, it was pretty much the same, the grip and everything. It just had a detachable barrel and, you know, a percussion cylinder. But so these things been around so long, early days, you know, of handguns and revolvers. So here's the 4 clicks, C-O-L-T. And of course a good Colt clone will have the same clicks and all that, so it's not just a Colt thing. And this one's in the 38,000 range in terms of serial number. Second generation, by the way. 64 was right kind of in the middle, or I guess maybe even, yeah, kind of in the middle, towards the early days of the second generation firearms. So, hard to beat good old Colt. Hard to beat a .22 long rifle, and it's hard to beat a day of shooting like this where the weather's pretty nice, and I've got people over here in the woods with me to talk to. Yeah, usually I'm walking around the woods talking to myself, but if I bring the camera out, I get to talk to you all, and maybe I don't seem quite as insane because I'm actually talking to a tripod instead of myself or a tree. I don't know which is worse. Yeah. So y'all come back out, and again, I hope to see you in Bowling Green, and hope to see you on the tube next week and during the week. Life is good.